What is happening? Hope everyone is doing well. We have a Starbucks Grande Blonde Latte. So I want to chat about automate, delegate, remove. Today, I want to chat about mindset. Today, I want to chat about becoming a lifelong learner. Today, we are talking about sales processes. So we're going to title these live sessions, Coffee with Cody. Hello, good day. Hope everyone's doing well. Wanted to hop on here really quickly. Sorry I'm late. Usually we do these at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm trying to do that. We have a lot going on right now in the business. So, but thank you. Thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time tuning in to Coffee with Cody, really the premise behind these episodes is we do a studio PTPO podcast where we interview entrepreneurs across really the world. And they give us a lot of information. And really the goal is to get the information from the people who have it, to the people that need it, to entrepreneurs that are growing and scaling in the online space. Really my goal and really my mission is to help passionate, energetic entrepreneurs with marketing and mindset knowledge to help them build and grow scale their business in the online space. Thank you if this is your first time tuning in. These Coffee with Codys are actually live on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play Music as a podcast as well. So if you are driving, you're in the gym, you are doing something that requires multitasking, take a listen, subscribe. Really appreciate that. But thank you for tuning in another episode of Coffee with Cody. Really, what I want to chat today is about something that is really near and dear to my heart. It's really how personal development, how reading, how investing back into coaches has helped us 10x our business, and how it's going to continue to help us grow the business in the online space, because this is so true. It's something I really, really firmly believe in. I believe that to get information from people that have it and implement it, if you do this, you can really change the course of your business. I believe in reinvesting back inside the business. It's a key principle that I've seen time and time. People that do it and people that are successful reinvest in the coaches, even at a high level. So even when they're making $1 million a year in revenue or $10 million in revenue, they're usually investing in people that are at 100 million or a billion, wherever they are at in their business, they're always reinvesting. They are lifelong learners. And really early on in my entrepreneurial career, I actually wrote a long post about this. You really literally go to my personal page. You can kind of check it out. It's something that I had a lot of entrepreneurs tell me that, hey, I really resonated with this. I had a lot of, especially agency owner friends, really resonated with this post. And really early on in my entrepreneurial career, I really struggled. I really struggled. I've been doing this for about a little over 2.5 years now. For those who don't know, my background is in corporate sales. Spent really 10 years selling telecom, and really, what turned into selling telecom ended up, running some teams, and we were fairly successful. We ran a store that did $5 million in sales out of 800 square feet. And we were very community focused, very solution focused. And when I transitioned to entrepreneurship, I quickly went from an environment in sales that I had all these processes and all these systems built out for me in a corporate environment, to an environment where I had to figure out. And rather than hiring people, because I didn't know how to do that, I didn't know that I could expedite the process by hiring somebody that's already done something before me. I went out on a journey to find a map, and I was trying to do it myself. Before finding the map, I tried to figure out everything on my own. And the quickest way to not grow is to try to do everything on your own, whether it be sales, whether it be marketing, whatever it may be, whether it be delivery, is trying to do it all on your own. And I heard somebody say this once, Bradley, actually recently on a podcast. He said that the best decision he ever made in his business as an entrepreneur is as soon as he hit 10K, he took $5,000 of that 10K and he reinvested into hiring somebody. And I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that growth is experienced through reinvesting into your business, whether it be a business coach, whether it be a team member, whether it be a program, whatever it may be. The quicker you are to invest back inside your business rather than spending it. And I actually wrote a long post about this, that really early on in my entrepreneurial career, I squandered a bunch of money. And I remember sitting with my accountant literally a year after we had a really great year. And I didn't really understand the importance of growing a team and spreading the wealth. And I remember my business partner saying to me time and time again that when he moved back to Peterborough, he's been focused on a few other companies that he's working on, such as PTBO Canada, which is another media company he's worked on. He said that the best thing he ever did was spread the wealth. And what I quickly realized was the more people I bring into my ecosystem, the more people I hire, and the more people, as long as I give them the systems and processes I need, the faster we'll grow. And we really started to grow when I started to actually begin to spread the wealth and I started to reinvest back inside the business. And I think that if you're an entrepreneur out there and if you're ever asking yourself, like, why aren't we going fast enough? Why aren't we growing? Why is it taking so long in order to experience growth? I think you have to sit back and ask yourself. And what I did with my own self was I began to think, what are the people that are doing it and have already made it? What are they doing? And then begin to emulate their actions. And I think it's a great way to start. And as I look at, guys like Russell Brunson and, big marketing people, they're constantly reinvesting back into coaching, whether it be personal development, whether it be reading more. They say that the average CEO reads 52 books a year. Clue, success leaves clues. And what I quickly realized was, rather than squandering the money and rather than spending on stupid things, let's start to reinvest it back inside the business. And things really started to change for us when I went out and I did, rather than trying to do everything on my own, because I felt like I was at points I was bleeding out of my eyes. Like, I don't know if you've ever felt that as an entrepreneur where you're like, it doesn't make sense. Nothing is happening the way it should be happening. And I don't know if you ever had those moments where you're just like, I just feel like I'm doing everything in the world in order to make this thing go faster, in order to hit my goals. And I just can't seem to get to my goals, or I don't feel like I'm in momentum. And that's how I felt as an entrepreneur, where it's like, I feel like I'm doing everything, but I was working 60, 70-hour weeks, but they weren't productive 67 hours. And I think a lot of the entrepreneurial community now is starting to wake up to the reality that it's not necessarily the amount of hours you work in, it's the amount of productive and the amount of quality hours you put in. And this is something I really realized because back in February, and I actually wrote this in the long post, back in February, I went to a conference, and essentially the conference was really an eye opener for me. When I was chatting with one of my business partners, Neil, like when I was actually in San Diego, things really started to make sense for me. But back up a little bit, because I want to talk about this story. I'm such a better writer than I am sometimes with video, but we made our first real investment inside of our business into the Cat Howell Academy last year. And that was our first really big investment. It was a lot of money. It was for us, at least at that time, but thank God we made that investment. And thank God we looked at case studies and we looked at reviews and we saw the amount of people that she was impacting, and we invested into her course. And what ended up happening was these series of investments ended up bringing me into the reality that the more I invest with the right people, the more the business grows. It's kind of like investing into an ETF fund. It's like, as long as you know the right fund, you're going to consistently make more money. You're going to increase your investment. It's the same inside of a business. One of my favorite people in the world, Bob Grover, talks about that your business should yield a 25 to 30% return. It's one of the things that, as long as you're constantly reinvesting inside your business and as long as you're constantly trying to level up, the business continues to grow. And that was really an experience that I had really early on. My introduction to Cat Howell introduced me to Stan, and it's like our business kind of grew like with Cat, and it's really grown like significantly, but it was the connection that I made to Stan that really helped me understand how I wanted to grow my business with my connection with him. And then that introduction introduced me to Brendan Burchard, and really into the understanding that as much as you invest into business development, you should invest into personal development. This is whether it be reading, whether it be pushing yourself, whether it be fixing your morning routine, whether it be fixing your evening routine, whether it be implementing new daily habits, new routines. It's all of the above. And I heard an entrepreneur say this I forget who it was, but he essentially said that often the thing that gets in the way of the business growing is often the entrepreneur. It's often the business owner. Your level of growth personally is in direct correlation with your level of growth in the business. I firmly believe that, because I look at the person I was a year ago and the person I am now, and the person I was a year ago wouldn't be able to handle the amount of growth we have now. And I think that this is so true. And I think that the more that you reinvest into yourself, the more that you implement, the more that you learn, the more that you fix your mindset, the more that things just start to grow, and the more opportunities the more you invest, the more opportunities that open up. It's really weird how this works, and I really firmly believe this. I really, really do. That, if you've been eyeing that business coach, and this is really the encouragement, entrepreneur, business owner, if you've been eyeing that business coach, if you've been eyeing that marketing company, you've been eyeing that sales coach, or you've been wanting to invest inside the business for that course, I really highly recommend you do it, because you have no idea the amount of growth that you might see by just taking that step into that investment. And I've seen this in my own life, in our own business. It's been the investments that have opened up the doors for new breakthrough. And it's been the investments that we've made that have opened up the doors to bringing me into a new community. And it's been really cool. So talking about Stan introduced me to a guy named Brendon Burchard. He said, read this book. If you really want to go to the next level, read High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. If anyone's listening to this live, you're listening to this back, a lot of entrepreneurs ask me, what is a book that you would recommend? High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. It was a life changer for me. So much so that I hopped on a plane back in February, and I went to San Diego, and I remember very distinctly. I remember this very, very, very vividly. Brendon, I was sitting there in the crowd, and Brendon. It felt like Brendon was talking to me, like talking directly to me. He's like, a lot of you entrepreneurs are struggling to grow because you're trying to take on too much for yourself. Or you're trying to take on too much. You're not automating enough. You're not delegating enough. You're not removing non-needle moving activities. And if you've listened to Coffee Cody, you heard me say this before, but I firmly believe this, that if you would actually take a piece of paper and you were to write down the 50 things that you do every month, or even the 15 to 20 things you do on a monthly basis, and you were to begin to allocate and look at you were to look at your vision on whether you have a whiteboard, you look at your vision, your mission, your values, and you began to automate, delegate, and remove the things that were not needle moving activities, meaning there were things that that could be automated, or could be delegated, or it could be removed. You would begin to focus more on the needle moving activities inside the business, whether it be hiring, whether it be sales, whether it be marketing, whatever you consider to be a needle moving activity, you would begin to focus on more on those things. And when I was sitting there in February, I really sat there and I said, oh my God, like there are so many things that I'm doing that could either be automated, delegated, or removed that actually allow me to step more into the mission of helping entrepreneurs, really equip them with marketing and mindset knowledge. It's doing more of these Coffee with Cody's. It's really stepping into more of a leadership role within the company. It's really being able to show up more for my people. And it was a liberating moment to realize, wow, okay, so if I just begin to automate, delegate, remove, the business will move faster. But it took, like I say all this to say, it took an investment of booking a flight, to reading a book, paying money to get there, to really like that. That was a couple $1,000s of investment back into myself, back into my personal growth, in order to actually actualize, in order to realize, in order for the business to grow. So what I'm trying to get at is, like, if you're struggling to grow, it might be an investment opportunity that you need to make into a business coach, into a marketing company, into a sales coach, into a course, whatever course you're eyeing up. Really my encouragement today to you, entrepreneur, business owner, is to begin to look at who is it that you think that has already done what you want to do, and can you hire them? Can you pay them? Can you essentially get in their ecosystem to help you get to where you want to go? And that's really my encouragement today, entrepreneur, is as you're listening to this, that you just wanted to hop on here, tell a really quick story, and just encourage you that, whatever you think is best for your business, take that action, take that next step, because it could be the thing that changes the direction and the course of your business. So I really hope you're having a great day. I hope you're enjoying the weather. It's nice here anyways in Peterborough, Ontario. But thanks for tuning into another episode of Coffee with Cody. And really, if you got any value out of today's episode, I encourage you to just share this. Go on iTunes. I don't really ask this a whole lot, but if you can go on iTunes and really give us a rating or review, it would mean the world to us. But I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate I just really appreciate your attention more than anything. And I hope you get a ton of value out of these Coffee with Cody's, because my goal is to provide massive amount of value back to the entrepreneurial community. Because like I've said before, the entrepreneurial community saved me. It helped me understand that opportunities are endless, and I firmly believe that opportunities are endless for you. So I hope you have a great day, and we'll chat with you soon.